Trauma. Presumably numbers of your people come who are pretty traumatised. How do you deal with that?
It's an interesting one, that, because it's one of the things that's caught us out quite often in the past, or that the people have been doing really, really well, and then there's like a trauma date or anniversary. And I'll give you one example. There was a geezer that we used to work with, and basically he found his mum dead. I think December 28th, she was a drinker, she fell downstairs and broke her neck. And we worked with him, and we did fantastic throughout the year, and then we hit the middle of December, he disappeared off, and then we won't see him until January again, and he basically just gone like a big massive 6-week binge. But it took us a couple of years to actually work this out, because no one had ever asked the question, really. So one of the things that we do, we try not to get too deep into it, but when the guys come to us, what we do is we just ask them for like a bit of a timeline. So can you just do us like a bit of a timeline from kind of birth to where you are now? And basically what we're just looking for are those like trauma events, those adverse childhood experiences. Not to get too far into it, because obviously the worst thing you can do with anyone is start to unpick any of that stuff, especially if you haven't got the training or the ability to get Pandora back in the box. But what we're looking for are things that are triggers, really, and things that we know that are significant sort of stuff. Particularly, is there any dates around calendars and stuff like that when you're more likely to kind of do and to respond to that sort of kind of thing? But one of the things that we sort of say to the guys quite often is, for specialised trauma, so if it's stuff like sexual abuse or bereavement, then obviously we refer on to sort of specialist sort of counselling agencies. But we have an on-site counsellor ourselves who works with 4 individuals a week. 4 individuals at a time on a weekly basis, and basically everybody who comes through gets access to this, to 12 weeks counselling to do it. But what we say to the guys when they first come in is don't concentrate on that stuff now. Leave that be for the time being. Concentrate on building your sobriety first. Get yourself a platform in sobriety. Look at, ideally if you can, 6 months clean, 6 months sober under your belt, and then go back and start to look at this stuff. Because inevitably, once you start to open this stuff up again, open up old wounds, re-traumatises people, there's everything else that sort of comes with it. It's a really difficult process, and what you've got to be able to do is make sure that you give yourself the best chance, the best ability to be able to go through and to see the process through, to be able to deal with that, and that if you've got that foundation in sobriety, you've got those sober coping skills that you need. I don't even think it's so much the skills themselves. I think it's the support network that's more integral at that point then, because what like I say, when they need to have that love and support for the people to go around and to sort of do it, to go through. So again, but I was going to say some of our guys have been traumatised in, just unimaginable ways. But one of our staff members, and she talks about that very openly, she shares a lot, she speaks at a lot of events and stuff, but she was a victim of modern day slavery. When we sort of first met her, she was, we were working with an organisation called Bowser. But that we were linked in, we were able to link her in with them through work that we've done with another one of our residents previously, a male resident, but he'd also been a victim of modern day slavery and sexually exploited. So again, I think sort of kind of one of the things that, not that we, and it's never done deliberately, David, I would never do it in that way, but because this staff member, because she's very, very open about her story and everything like that, and shares that stuff so willingly within fellowships and within anything that we do, is it kind of, I think it makes it easy for everybody else to approach their own trauma, because for so many individuals there's a lot of guilt and shame attached to it, wrongly so, we know that, but because of what's been done to them, that's almost a lot of the time, specifically the sexual stuff, they've been made to feel that way deliberately. It's part of the grooming process. You're made to feel this is part of your fault, etc., etc. So for us, we've got to sort of try and almost demystify that stuff a little bit, and to say that this stuff is really common for people that go through addiction. It's really common for us to have experienced this, but that we cannot allow it to define who we are as people moving forward, and that we've got. So I can remember going once very early. What David Best said to me very early on. We were at an event and he was talking about recovery and stuff. And this guy got up and basically dead honest, and he said, like, I used drugs because I was abused as a child. And David turned around and he said, you know, that's shit. It's really fucking shit. But you'll have always been abused as a child. Does that mean you'll always have to abuse drugs? Do you know what I mean? This thing has defined you for so long. You've got to let it define you for the rest of your life. And this, I think this is a bit for me, like I say, that sat from the staff member, I'm sort of talking about the last thing you would ever call her is the victim. At one point, yes, she was. She had her arm broken, her jaw broken. You know, she was brutalised in the most horrific ways imaginable. But is she a victim? No, she's probably one of the strongest women that I know. You know, I mean, don't you know, I think the should charge out of her ass, unemployed otherwise, but just everyone's the same thing. The amount of respect and the amount of weight that she pulls, just because she went through all that stuff, but she doesn't let it define who she is as a person. That's him. That's his shit. That's his stuff. This might have been done to me, but I don't make that my stuff. That makes it his stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's not me. Do you know what I mean? And that ability to be able to sort of do it and to be able to sort of just really, really helps other people to kind of get on this road to healing.